Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Welcome back to 1680 The Crow. My name is Braden Goodman, and these are the top stories shaping our world. We start first with breaking news as a woman has filed a lawsuit against former NHL player Willie Mitchell and a resort in Tofino, BC, alleging she was sexually assaulted by the one-time Vancouver Canuck while she was, quote, extremely intoxicated. The plaintiff, who isn't named in the lawsuit, says in a civil claim filed in British Columbia Supreme Court on Wednesday that she was employed as a server at Tofino Resort and Marina Incorporated in September of 2022. The woman's claim says that the resort was hosting a fishing tournament, and after finishing her shift, she went to an adjoining pub where she became, quote, visibly impaired by alcohol, leaving her with only, quote, fragmented memories of the evening of September 11th, 2022. The lawsuit says Mitchell escorted her from the pub while she was wearing only one shoe and took her back to his home, where he allegedly engaged in unprotected sexual activity with a woman without express or implied consent. The allegations in the lawsuit have not been tested or proven in court, and neither Mitchell nor the resort have filed response in the case. While messages were left for resort officials, they were not immediately returned. The lawsuit says Mitchell was a company director at the resort up until February 2023. The State Department will increase staffing at certain U.S. embassies and consulates to accommodate an expected major jump in visa applications from soccer fans wanting to attend World Cup matches in the United States of next year. The department will send hundreds of additional consular officers to designated countries to handle the demand for visa interviews. The number of staffers and the countries where they will go have yet to be determined because of the 48-team field for the 2026 World Cup hasn't yet been finalized. Fans from the mainly European and Asian countries in the visa waiver program won't likely require an interview. With Brian Snitker's stepping down in Atlanta, there are now 8 major league teams with managerial openings. 5 of those spots became vacant since the end of the season, and 3 teams have had interim managers in place for a while now. With the dust seemingly settling, it's time to look at which of these jobs are now the most attractive. It's a subjective exercise, of course, and it depends on what a prospective manager values. Defending champion Coco Gauff has reached the semifinals of the China Open for the 3rd straight year after beating hard-hitting Ava Lice in 2 sets. The second-seeded American was troubled on her serve and conceded 7 break-point chances in Beijing, but Lice could convert only 3 of them and dropped her own serve 5 times against the French Open champion. Gauff's semifinal opponent will be fellow American and 3rd seed Amanda Anisimov, the Wimbledon and U.S. Open runner-up. Anisimova rallied to beat 6-seeded Jasmine Paolini 6-4 in the third in a match lasting nearly 3 hours. Our own reporter Quinlan Curry sat down with a Vancouver-based sports photographer, Beau Chevalier, about capturing the Canadian Championship final and what it represents for the first All-BC matchup in the tournament's history.
Especially in this case, that the first time they'll be meeting is in a cup final where, everything is on the line. So it kind of adds that extra bit of spice to something that should already have, heightened tensions and emotions and interest from fans, players, staff, everyone,
The match between the clubs marked the first contest of what could one day become an exciting inter-city rivalry. The Vancouver Whitecaps FC captured their 4th straight TELUS Canadian Championship and their 5th Voyager Cup overall with a win over the Canadian Premier League side, Vancouver FC, in their first ever meeting at BC Place on Wednesday. The Whitecaps will return to MLS action this Sunday, where they host the San Jose Earthquakes. The Los Angeles Rams host the San Francisco 49ers in an NFC matchup tonight. San Francisco turns to quarterback Mac Jones with Brock Purdy sidelined by a toe injury. The Rams bring the league's 4th-ranked offense, powered by quarterback Matthew Stafford and wide receiver Puka Nacua. At 3:30, we'll go into more as the NFL Week 5 kicks off tonight. You're up to date in the world of sports. My name is Braden Goodman, and thanks for listening to 1680 The Crow. See you at 3:30.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.